Everyone, so this one will be an extremely short one. We have 5 minutes to talk about this car. This is the standard Golf 8. We tested the GTI already, and unfortunately we had the lowest spec we can find. I believe it's the live version. Still, you have always LEDs on the Golf. With this one, I think you have 16-inch rims, which are not the nicest, let's be honest. Let's get back around the car. Really extremely quick test, but with the Life, you do not get the fake exhaust pipes. So this one doesn't even come with fake plastic pipes. It's just a bland rear. But still, I think they really nailed the design of the Golf 8, so it doesn't look so bad. The color, I think, is Mediterranean blue. But it's raining, so let's just hop inside. Here, as you can see, the seats are the standard ones, so I mean, comfort is really nice. That's for sure. That's almost a given. I can tell you that the bolsters are nice and supportive, but they're not the most supportive ones that you can find, for instance, in the Style, which has upgraded seats, or in the R line, which really has the Golf R seats, which are way better. But still, my only complaint would be about the cloth that they're using. It's not so nice looking. But hey, let's not talk only about the seats, and let's get driving. We are driving a Golf 8 1.5 liter TSI. It comes with the DSG, and funny thing about this car is that it has a 48 volt mild hybrid system. So this is a system that will give you a little boost of efficiency while driving in town or stuff like this, but it's not a full hybrid system that you have to recharge, for instance. Okay, so someone's crossing the street. Nice. So the interior is really similar to the Golf 8 GTI that we just reviewed. So all the comments that I did on this one really hold true with the standard Golf. At the same time, the seats are really different. I will show them later, but yeah, they're not as nice, and you can see here the cloth design is not the nicest, let's say. But apart from that, you have fake aluminum inserts, and overall you feel good. First impression, I didn't drive the car yet, but it seems really smooth, and the gearbox it really is smooth, and that's something that we really wanted to try. Something else really funny that I noticed is that on the base spec Golfs, you do not get the capacitive buttons that you have on the Golf GTI and higher specs. So basically here you have only buttons. It looks a bit worse in my view, but at the same time it's so much more easy to operate that really I would be happy to trade capacitive buttons which look nice to this one, which are really easier to operate. Well, something that I really wanted to try out is the engine off coasting. It seems that there's an engine off coasting function, which means that when you let go of the throttle, the gearbox disengages with the engine. So that's one thing. And on top of that, it seems that it's a coasting engine off mode, which means that the engine is actually off when you let go of the throttle. And then in full transparency, the engine comes on again as soon as you hit the gas, and the gearbox will just assemble the clutch and it will restart the engine like seamlessly. So this is something that will help you with fuel efficiency, and it's quite interesting to see. And we can see now, so we are in drive, we let go, and then boom, 0 RPM, and the car is still working. And then as soon as we hit the gas again, boom, seamlessly it assembles the clutch. So really interesting function. It's quite funny to see in action because you don't actually feel it. It's fully transparent. So yeah, nice point this way. Okay, so now on the road. One thing that really struck me as soon as we got going is that it's so smooth. I mean, the comfort is really high in this car, and the way that the DSG operates, the calibration of the gearbox and stuff like this is really something enjoyable. So yeah, like for instance here, start and stop situations are really not an issue for this car. And if you want a bit more power the sound. Yeah, so this is not a GTI, that's for sure. At the same time, I mean, this engine is all you need. So it has a 1.5 liter eTSI with a 48 volt mild hybrid system with a DSG 7 gearbox. So this gearbox, we know it from the 2 liter TDI. You have it in Audis, it's called S-Tronic. You have it in Seats, you have it in Skodas. And to me, it's one of the best because we have an A-class versus Mercedes. And I can tell you that the way that this DSG is calibrated is really, really miles above the A-class gearbox. Yeah, we have winter tires, so it will not be the best to drive, but still it feels good. Not the most dynamic car. You can feel it already. I mean, the response, the steering response is better than the Golf 7. So to me, that's clear. I see the improvement. I see the work that they did to make it a bit more direct, because around center, so at 0 steering wheel angle, you can feel that it reacts better than before. This, to some extent, is due to the tires, but having driven the Golf 7 for a long time, Golf R, as well as the standard Golf 7, I can tell you that, yeah, it's more direct, this one. Oh, I thought I would find a nice road, but it's clearly the opposite that we found. Okay, we are lost. I don't know where to go anymore. It's really quite not bad to drive, huh? It's a standard Golf with 16-inch rims, so you would assume it's not the best, but really, yeah. And the steer, of course, if you push it, but yeah, that's life. Sound in the cabin. I mean, there's no noise in the cabin. It's crazy. See here, foot from gas pedal. We are getting to a roundabout, and he told me to just let go of the gas. Another thing to notice with this one is that you get ACC, which is active cruise control, as standard with Golfs, which means that you have your cruise control, standard cruise control, but you get as well the radar sensor, which will actually now, okay, so this car in front of us is just stopping. I'm not touching anything, so the car is slowing down by itself. And now car is gone. I didn't touch the throttle or the brake, and we will go back to 50 kilometers an hour again. Seamlessly, I didn't touch anything. Yeah, really quite cool, really well calibrated, and that's why one of the strengths of the Golf. I think everything works really well together, and that's one more proof of it. Wow, we have quite a bit of engine brake now. Quite interesting. So it gave me in this downhill part, it gave me quite a bit of engine brake. Now it's in coasting mode because we are on a flat road, flat surface, so there's no risk of the car getting crazy and picking up a lot of speed. So the car senses with the accelerometers and angle sensors, feels that the car is on a flat surface, so it's activating the coasting function. At the same time, on a downhill like before, it will put the higher gear in order to have engine brake, and that's really good. Time to conclude, so let's discuss price. So I thought that we're testing the style version. In the end, we have the life. So I don't know for the prices of the Golf 8 Life in Life version, but I think I know them for the style version. So style costs around 30,000 euros in Luxembourg with the 1.5 liter eTSI as well as the DSG 7. So that's the car as standard. And as standard, you get these screens. You get the standard Discovery Media GPS. So that comes as standard. And what you get with the Pro is just the fact that you can get the GPS on the cockpit screens. And so to me, it's not a sufficient reason to really spend 1.5k on a Pro GPS. So the style version with this engine costs 30,000 euros. And the funny part is that the GTI as standard comes around 34,000 euros. And for that you get 100 more HP, you have the sporty treatment, you have nicer seats, you get a lot of stuff. And actually the GTI is really an interesting proposition. And as with any Golfs, I'm certain that in Germany, for instance, they will sell these cars like crazy, and you will see on German streets a lot of base spec GTIs, because I mean, over the standard style or life, it's not much more expensive, and if you drive it sensibly, fuel consumption is really fine with the GTI as well. It's a subtle upgrade over the 7, but at the same time they just perfect the recipe that I had for Golfs, and they just deliver once again kind of one of the best hatches that you can get in terms of powertrain refinement, comfort inside. Price quality ratio is really high with this one. So short video, I hope you liked it. There's really no preparation with this one. It's actually because we want to buy such a car that we're testing it today. But yeah, more interesting cars will come on the channel. I will test my Golf R, 7.5R. I will test C63 AMG in the future. So yeah, you will see other fun cars on the channel. Just for that, we might as well do a small video on this one. Cheers everyone, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.